nanso so okasa wie ye normal course wo memha NDC for chitafo ene na collation centers be bia ye nka aba ni wie ye force electoral commission for baby wo mu di tuo esi electoral commission for me the second esi wo so ebu ebi mu se chinchina omo declare ma NDC so omo release parliamentary seats no parliamentary seats American wasem eye domi kwa abenya Ablekuma North Okaike Central Tema Central Afano North Obuasi East Afano Southwest Akwatia Suhum Kwantia Kwa North Insawa Dredri Techima South and Awowin Sebi Kabi mamu kabi amemmo ene de ye adwuma wontimi nya ne nya 100% enti de wa wi ni no na won saka de anya o de ade number so de patapa asem ekwaji firi se obi a ene dia enti sa de nya ma ye hia ho majority leader echeche mu se wo hwe no ma bi e course e wa do me kwa benya electoral commission PC to be announce obeye dodo na NDC for ekose no ya ye PC kura ya ye koka dodo mo se no Ablekuma North electoral officer abumbe declare results eno so NDC for so mo mpene tinche om na edin kunu mo abra ye collect results ni kura enwie Tema Central omo ko share electoral commission return officer or Tema Central say tinche na declare man o so otiminye ebi se nyam na no otiminye no makofa obi a what Tema West so only make declare results Emma Tema Central enya no matibida
without figures
Ablekuma North card no many figures and am say declare amu TV so say Sam George and otikonomo and e gina ho amugina electoral commission officer say enchen and omo chere no regional chairman omo chere ne say we declare results say obi a we parliamentary candidate e won ningo pram e na begina Ablekuma North and I watch there Okaike Central and Ablekuma North return officer Juma wonye ehun na mo dey akoto sa officers no so eto hwe sa normal course nyina e say be na course across the country Obuasi is yemra se be bianu o ye parliamentary candidate NDC for chile shedem e loke da no e di tosin so say on return officer o mon sign no ne nkwa ene owu de na ope e wo ho na sabi o ma peni do mama o ma peni oba do mama o yi no furu menye ye every said the man said in mabawa ene omo ye say aduma no o hwe nkofo omo pa appointment o na momo a omo de di animu e say for bi say basitali say basitat say debe omo nya ka omo ye say anoma no na sabi peni bi nsi omo chi a omo ti mai say ade no all in attempt say oh your person nya 2 terms in parliament na ye wi asesa constitution no say bia yura mama obeko 8 years and until NDC for desperate various collection centers omo ye say to asem no na ka say be kenya sa wona majority dada it do person oye bia no betima ye ti dem bent na aka wa omo nya abrese tinchina wo person munya 2 terms aden oman den ye grunti a NDC for person omo ye say ade ese oman enti na sa akonya resu e catch electoral commission say omunjira pentem commissioners omo ho baby NDC for any patapa no to trust them akogina say omo sesa results no they should reverse it and do the right thing I think for the sake and sanctity of our democracy say be ye kan man ka bia memon e be konanim ye raji prayer dampare say the Ghana e wo tiri so ye be to aba wo free political parties twice when ye share ka say asunje be ba aba to nim baby wo okra umnante ni gina ho na obi afro say you should stand down na police for atwo mo afro na ka NDC for nko a no intimidating for say the man be ne pese chechire ye NPP say the basa ade a ye so na mom sa konya ya ye dia mo ma ye kan say so man ye sa de ya embo ye nyina NPP will not say that yan transi e ma ba ya koto a ye wini a NDC for pendum say ye wini no omo tintim yensa ye fa sa konya so as peace councils say mo na asundie e wo mo ho no me kosunya mahu peace council for mo kasa de be na mo ka Yes, sir, Christian community. Yes, sir, Muslim community. Leaders are more. No more cost. I am of it. I am of them. International communities are more. No more cost. I am of it. I am of them. Say the most central for more. One kind of credit. No more cost. Are you happy about it? I am of it. I am of them. Centrality, you call who's a normal one year cost of power. No year for so one time. Send the person teacher of mine.
They call them irate youth. Then they don't even want to mention.
Send the teacher of mine. No multi radio so at TV so. NDC for bonnet was so saving. I'm not telling about what be and yes to trust him. I'm not telling about how many political parties. Some young people, your control by Andy. Yeah, you're losing. I'm not going to trust him. I am dear to my tear baby. Yes, Remo. A person now take the apostle. Now, be at Nanutum said, South Constituency 30 years my body. NDC for Emma Pine, near electoral commission for no, and yet the sepata. We are said Ghana and Edin Kunim. Mamma Yadi the Basabasa, Bebo Memoir. Any patapani to trust a man, or Modima NPP Petitafon, and so Munjai. And then the first time I NDC winning lessons for Ghana, or NPP winning lessons were. By the end of the day, no, a man can't condition. And they should remember that power is transferred. Say 2 million and end Sambako. 2 million and Sambako. Central for Mamunchen, the SNDC for a channel. That should be almost so haba. The catch them, the SNDC for channel. A man transfer man come from man 1 2. No man condemn one. Say that should be the power necessary. More be a man that can be full. So when you have put to a demand, I said the economy, the 2 country be a trade. Now, so you remember men one. Now, Duma, SCA, near Duma. After so, you best say, Eastern region, or master said no more than China. Police for Emma Bambo and Coho. Not a multi on Duma say, baby, we are, as we give about. Near Frema, not some medal, I don't know.
We can take questions from you. Yes, please.
Thank you very much. My name is Musa Lansa with GH1 TV.
Yes, sir.
We've had the president-elect, we've had the general secretary of the NDC, and also their deputy general secretary.
Right.
They said they have not authorized anyone to go around what they are doing.
Right.
And whatever they are doing is on their own accord. As a party, what else do you want them to do after coming out to say all this? What else do you want them to do to stop all this?
Indeed, it is our claim that they, the leadership, are the ones who are organizing these gentlemen to do this. And in fact, they organize them, they buzz them, they fuel them, and they are doing it for their benefit, and they know that. That is why we describe their actions as hypocritical, double standard. You send your proxy to act in your stead, you benefit from it, but the consequences thereof, you don't want to take responsibility. It's pretense, and that is why we are calling on the president-elect, President John Dramani Mahama, that he has already soiled his hands with the blood of innocent Ghanaians. The president-elect, even proud to the swearing-in, has already soiled his hands with the blood of innocent Ghanaians. The peace of this country is so important, is so critical, that that should be his responsibility. That's all I want to say. Thank you very much.
Nana question for Man FM. What share and Huba Posi at the bomb or Brana Yakwa Twaba? Na ene collation center NDC Mebunu including MP obi tumi free ni go pram eko PMO ewo Abdulkuman North eko tintim yisi official mene se won declare aba obeka se bambo mu no omadi mu hamo bambo
for police for edigan nyamo se obaka ya NDC for the past 2 years was one pair asojafo no military at the collation center, no military at the police station. Now it is clear that they rehearse their plans. No one you bono monitoring. Into what soldier foot there, soldier football Bogana for one, but into the work at the no soldier. Because no one is a warrior. when in the upper police they can take advantage of the police. So it's not obvious. And Ghana Funine, Saint Internet NDC was one military during the election. And then of course, the military had to stay back. All elections are here in Ghana. Military, police work together. They were at the polling centers and at collation centers where Nimpobonibia near Tumunda Oba collation center. On this occasion, because the police and some areas, prison officers and immigration officers, they were helpless because the NDC had rehearsed what it wanted to do, not to even accept the result, and they thought that they were going to lose the elections. Now that they've won, they want to still unleash the mayhem on innocent Ghanaians. And it is the responsibility of the president-elect. I repeat, he has soiled his hands with the blood of innocent Ghanaians. And it is not enough to tell his people that what they are doing is illegal or criminal. He ordered them. They take decisions at their party headquarters. He is the leader of their party. And
our majority leader will also be addressing us. So without much ado, I humbly invite our General Secretary to address us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, the leadership of the New Patriotic Party is pleased to have you in attendance for this press conference. Recent events, particularly the outcome of the 2024 general elections and the unfolding lawlessness by some leading members of the National Democratic Congress and their supporters across the country has necessitated this engagement.
One second. We need to turn on the voice. The mic. Which one is it?
The main one.
The main one in front. Yes,
This
that
one.
one.
It's on. It's on. It's on.
So do I take it again or?
Please, are you all satisfied?
I said
It's not.
Friends, let's wait for our friends who are not said to be ready before I restart.
Let's put the other down.
Are we good now?
Are we set, guys? Yes? Okay.
Yes, so I'll take it again. Friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, the leadership of the New Patriotic Party is pleased to have you in attendance for this press conference. Recent events, particularly the outcome of the 2024 general elections and the unfolding lawlessness by some leading members of the opposition National Democratic Congress and their supporters across the country has necessitated this engagement. As we are already aware, Ghana went to the polls on Saturday, December 7th, 2024, to elect a president in addition to 276 members of parliament. Just 16 hours after the close of polls, our flag bearer, Dr. Alhaji Muhammad Bamia, conceded defeat, an occurrence never recorded in the 32 years of our democracy. Ordinarily, the concession speech by Dr. Alhaji Muhammad Bamia and the NPP should have deflated all tensions pertaining to the elections. After all, what was there to fight for again? However, the NDC, inspired by sheer lawlessness, has been sending tax to district and regional coalition centers of the EC to force officials of the commission into declaring results in their favor, even when all due process had not been completed. In the Greater Accra region, on Monday, December 9, 2024, leading members of the NDC captured and locked up the regional office of the EC, where coalition for several parliamentary elections was ongoing. They chased out state security personnel and brought in tax and subsequently took over the coalition process for Kaikwe Central and Ablekumas North constituencies. Further, as is already known to the public, some of our parliamentary candidates and officials of the EC were either held at gunpoint or physically assaulted at various coalition centers by hoodlums of the NDC to force them to declare results in their favor in the following constituencies: Ablekuma North, Domeko Abenya, Okaikwe Central, Tema Central, Ahafano North, Obuasi East, Ahafano Southwest, Akotia, Suhum, Fantia Akwa North, Nsawam Adueji, Techiman South, and Awowin. For you to appreciate what transpired in these constituencies, I'll pause and invite our majority leader, Honorable Afrena Makin, to give us a vivid report of what happened in some of these constituencies. Honorable, come and take over.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press, first of all, it is very regrettable that the NDC, after winning power, will resort to create an atmosphere of lawlessness, threaten parliamentary candidates, threaten party officials, and threaten anybody they see as a threat, so-called. In Ablekuma North, for instance, the parliamentary candidate there is under siege. Yesterday, she had a sleepless night. All manner of persons were at her residence in search of pink sheets. The question is, why is the NDC so interested in destroying evidence? Why are they interested in capturing pink sheets to destroy them and set them ablaze? This woman, Madame Ekuya Afriye, had to run for her life. It took the timely intervention of the police to protect her and to drive these NDC hooligans away. Okaigwe Central, my respected colleague, Honorable Patrick Boama, is unable to sleep in his house because they are threatening him, thinking that he has a pink sheet at his residence. His constituency chairman is being looked for. His constituency secretary cannot sleep at home. All because they believe that these individuals have pink sheets. Why should a member of parliament fear for his life? All because he's participating in democracy. I would want to call on His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to stop his people, to speak to his party people. This is not democracy. This is not the democracy we've all worked hard for. The hypocrisy is becoming too clear day in, day out. All of us are being threatened. In my own constituency, for instance, they have now come out with a lie, and unfortunately some media personnel are following such lie to the extent that, to the effect that a certain NDC constituency vice chairman cannot be found. It's a lie. They are using that to incite their party foot soldiers to attack NPP members, including my very self. When NDC was in opposition, of course, before the election, they were the ones who were all over fighting for the right of Ghanaians. Even when a due process in court was being served on them, they cried foul. Today, the NDC leadership pretends that what their party foot soldiers are doing are being done on their blind side. But they are indeed encouraging it. We are calling on civil society to call on the NDC leadership, especially His Excellency President-elect John Dramani Mahama, to demonstrate his love for this country by stopping this action immediately. These individuals are moved in groups. Such attacks are planned and led by some MPs who have been promised juicy positions in government. And they are all over attacking parliamentary candidates. They are looking for pink sheets because they know that that is the evidence that we will use against them. If you go to Sema Central, for instance, the person who purportedly declared the Sema Central seat for the NDC candidate is not the returning officer for Sema Central. They called somebody to declare the result. When the rightful person who has taken an oath, who has deposed to an oath, sworn an oath to be the returning officer for the election, was not the one. If you consider this action in the light of all that is happening, one is compelled to ask that if NDC had lost the elections, what would happen? Is it the case that the leadership of the party had prepared, rehearsed, and plotted this, that in the event that they lose, this country should be made lawless? And because of that, even in spite of their winning, they are still proceeding to do this? At Obuasi East, our candidate was asked to choose between his seat and his life. He was locked up in his room at gunpoint and was forced to sign the final declaration, so-called Declaration 4. Why should such a thing happen? Is His Excellency John Dramani Mahama pretending not to be aware of all of these? All these things are happening before the media. The cameras are capturing all of these. And is this a country he wants to rule from 2025 to 2028? It is important that they don't just issue statements, but they demonstrate that they do not indeed support this action by stopping their voice. They buy them fuel, they give them pickups, and they move them to locations. We are aware. They cannot pretend that they don't know about this. Akwetia is a similar spot where they know they've lost, they scatter the place, and that is what they've done. My colleague, the majority chief whip, Honorable Ano Dompre, is also under siege, where they know they have lost but prevented the coalition from happening. Why should it be? Like my respected colleague and General Secretary of the party indicated in his opening statement, Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia conceded defeat in less than 24 hours after election. Indeed, within 16 hours after the elections, when our own data showed that the elections were not going in our favor. We did not wait for the Electoral Commission to come out with the declaration. The practice has been that a losing candidate would normally wait for the Electoral Commission to finish, make the announcement, and then he would concede. On this occasion, because we had a perfect system, a reliable data system, and we had scanners across the country, our agents gave us feedback, and in the very night, by midnight, we knew that indeed things were not okay. By 9 a.m., we have put it out there that Dr. Bawumia was going to address the nation. We did this in the interest of democracy. Why would the NDC, in an attempt to get 2/3 or more, going all over to destroy the country, destroy public properties, and even put fear and panic in the minds and hearts of our people who were candidates for the election? we call on the Electoral Commission to take immediate steps to reverse all these illegal declarations. Declarations that were not made out of properly collated results. Intervene. National headquarters should intervene. The chairperson of the Electoral Commission should intervene and respond positively to all the petitions brought before them and address these matters. We rest our case for now. General.
So just as the majority leader said, we are equally calling on the National Peace Council, National House of Chiefs, Christian Council of Ghana, Catholic Bishop Conference, our National Chief Imam, organized labor, civil society organizations, the diplomatic community, to as a matter of agency and for the sake of our cherished and enviable record as a country that has for over 32 years practiced multi-party democracy, to come out and condemn the lawlessness from the NDC. And we call on the president-elect, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, to call his people to order and also allow the Electoral Commission to do its job. At the end of the day, that is the beauty of democracy. You can't have it all. Is it the case that the NDC is telling us that we are not needed in the next parliament? What kind of country do you want to have? And we are also calling on the media. We have been to these centers. You've seen, with your naked eyes, you've seen the truth. Why are you not reporting? You are the forefront of government. You are supposed to let the people know what is happening. You are supposed to condemn the NDC. That is not the kind of country we want to have. This is not the kind of state we want to have as a country. Are we having a revolution in this country? Why should we happen in this manner? So, as the majority leader indicated, we are waiting to hear from the Electoral Commission with its decision on these constituencies. I'll repeat it again. Dome Kwabena, Ablinkuma North, Okaikwe Central, Afano North, Afano Southeast, Obuasi East, Akwetia, Suhum, Fantiakwa North, Nsawa-Dwidi, Chiman South, and Aworin. And we are calling on the police that Mr. IGP, the safety of this country is in your hands. Everybody is watching you. Everybody is counting on you. Let your men provide maximum security at all coalition centers so that the officers of the Electoral Commission can do their constitutional duty of making sure we have credible parliamentary candidates elect or members of parliament in our next parliament. So we want to thank you for coming to our office this afternoon. Enyanum ene adofu a ye hia mo ha awie ewo NPP headquarters. Adekwanti a ye hia mo ewo ha. Ene sebi kakabensem ene tutura sem a ye nua mo NDC fo pedifo ahye omomrante no maba okutupa. Se omonye basabasa no omonye ade a ense emfata wo memha. Yen say ye kwato aba Saturday wieye na de che pepepe ana NPP ye Frank Atuni Dr. Alhaji Muhammadu Bamia eye press conference e ka say abanwaje atuna ye hwe NPP ya ye resource ya collect na ye hu say ye dinkuni na kenu se ka sai anama awatu no kebe boa masundua bo memha Say be ya, e ko to aba de bia attention mu no. Ke be